Welcome back to Ithaca BJJ. Today, we have an epic showdown between identical twins. Meet Kevin, a blue belt, and his brother Corey, a white belt. Today, we're going to watch these gentlemen's skill. But first, let's take a look at them individually. Notice here how Corey blocks Rafi's mount by catching him in that half guard, which is something we talked about in a recent video. And you might remember Rafi from that aggressive white belt video. Now Rafi's doing a good job here. He outweighs Corey by quite a bit. But Corey's doing a pretty decent job holding his own. Now what Rafi is doing right here, two things. One, he's keeping his head nice and low, and he's keeping good downward pressure and wrapping up Corey pretty tight. But Corey's patient, and he looks for an opportunity, and he begins his escape. And we're going to notice here, Corey gets that arm out and executes a nice reversal and gets on top. And like a good white belt should, he keeps his head nice and low. Now Rafi's doing a pretty decent job applying pressure to get around Corey's guard. But Corey's doing a pretty decent job staving him off. Now here's Kevin. Looks a lot like the last guy, except he's wearing a blue belt. We're going to notice a lot of similar movement patterns between these two guys, but what we're going to notice about Kevin is we see smoother execution and a lot more attacks. Notice here, he's keeping his head nice and low, and Rafi does a great job using this technique we've talked about in the past to get his arms inside. And there's Kevin, staying low, staying heavy, and keeping his head low. And he goes straight for that knee on belly. And as Rafi tries to come back around, Kevin does a nice sprawl and works his way around to the back. Here, Kevin is attempting to attack an arm, but Rafi's doing a really good job staying nice and low and tight and extremely heavy. But he can't just whip Kevin around. Kevin's starting to develop some pretty decent technique. Notice here how Kevin does a great job using his foot to prevent Rafi's backstep. Great job. And now we're going to see another nice attempt here. He goes for that nice omoplata. But Rafi's no newbie, and he gets a nice reversal there. Nice counter. And as we stress so much on this channel, Kevin keeps himself nice and low and heavy. Now let's get to the brothers. Kevin does a great job dropping down there into that De La Riva, something we've talked about before on this channel. And he does a beautiful transition here to a single leg, but he makes a mistake here, and Corey's going to make him pay for it. Do you see the mistake? If you see it, pause and tell us in the comments. There it is right there. He keeps his head on the outside. Folks, when you go for that single leg, your head needs to be on the inside. Why? Because if your opponent is paying attention, he's going to catch you in a guillotine just like this. Kevin does a great job getting to the opposite side, and Corey is not able to get that leg over to sink in that guillotine. Now Corey's doing a really good job preventing his brother from passing. Right here, he has this knee blocking him, which is getting an assist from his hands. But Kevin does something that I see a lot of people, failing to do. Instead of fighting on that same side, instead, he moves to the other side. But Corey does a great job blocking his head. Now, Corey makes a mistake here, and Kevin makes him pay for it. Do you see it? His feet are not connected, which allows Kevin to step right over through his guard. Remember guys, 4 points of contact. 2 hands, 2 feet. And we see it again, Kevin going straight for that back attack. Much better job keeping his 4 points there. Again, Corey's doing a great job keeping distance from his brother, pushing his head away, and preventing that guard pass. But Kevin keeps at it and eventually hits this beautiful backstep. Again, look at him, nice and heavy. As he transitions. Now watch this. This is great. Kevin's nice and heavy, and he's blocking his brother's hip. Now this is a little mistake here that Corey's making. That hand right there. We talked about this. Getting that hand stuck between the legs like that will lead to something like that. Reverse triangle. Fortunately for Corey, Kevin doesn't see it. And here comes the grand finale, folks. The white belt twin hits it. Ready? Here it comes. Bam! He hits him with the dummy sweep. That was awesome. Nice job, Corey. Corey even comes pretty close to passing his brother's guard. He gets partially around and he wraps up his head nice and tight. And at this point, these guys are just waiting for the clock to run out as that ticker's going. And there you have it, folks. The grappling twins. And he gives his brother a little love tap in the end. These guys are great to watch roll. If you made it this far, remember to like and subscribe. And check out this next video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Thanks again for watching.